we have one more story about Palestine and the return of genocide, the planned genocide. Uh, and then we're going to turn to another story about protests in the U.S. I have an interesting critique. I want to read from myself, from Comrade Marius, and from the comrades from the Fine Arts Revolution. But here's our next story. This is from the Hotspot. UNICEF spokesperson, emotional speech from Gaza hospital. So this was put, just hours after the bombing restarted. Let's listen in. This is fucking tragic, but
the ceasefire is over. We can already hear the. I'm at a hospital. There was a hit about 50 meters from here. This is the biggest still functioning hospital in Gaza. It's at 200% capacity. Yes, this is a hospital. The health system here is overwhelmed. This hospital simply cannot take more children with the wounds of. There are children everywhere. These children are sleeping. There was a literally 50 meters from here. I cannot overstate how the capacity has been reduced of hospitals in the last 7 weeks. We cannot see more children with the wounds of, with the burns, with the shrapnel littering their body, with the broken bones. Inaction by those with influence is allowing the killing of children. This is a war on children.
This is a war on children. And as Israeli intelligence officers admitted, a few segments ago, we covered it. Everything we do is intentional. It is an intentional exterminationist war against the Palestinian people that is killing anywhere from 40 to 50% children because of the Palestinians, the Gazan population being, 50 or so percent children. It's despicable. It is the worst crime against humanity we've seen in this century, and it is funded to the tunes of billions by American taxpayer dollar. Why our society collapses while you and your families do not have enough to buy the everyday things that you need to survive. Not even a gallon, a carton of milk was $6 today. $6 for a fucking carton of milk. It's insane. Inflation's going crazy. Our paychecks are at the same place they were in years ago. Our cities are crumbling. Infrastructure is shit. Small businesses closing every day. Life is harder to live. It's harder to get by.
Millions,
60 to 70% living paycheck to paycheck, indebted. While that is where we're at, our government uses our tax dollars to fund a fucking genocide. It's never been the case in history where conditions like these haven't produced a radical change in the foundation of society, haven't produced a social revolution. That's the slither of hope we have.
Yeah, I mean that report. Wow. We need to reproduce that everywhere. There's that Doctors Without Borders. I mean, how's he even surviving in there? I'm amazed people can get out anything. And this is one place to really do a critical comparison to the Nazi regime, because no journalist could get anything out under German fascism. But under the occupation, I mean, it's the informational war. They've shut down. Sean King is getting virtually shut down. How do we continue to push back? Because, like Fidel said, the battle of ideas. How do we prosecute this battle of ideas? The censorship is dispiriting. We're getting attacked. In my places of work, like a lot of the academics, they're either afraid they don't get it, or they downright flat disagree. And I'm like, well, you've known me for a few decades now. You think I'm making up a human Holocaust? But then it goes back to the fear. This is shown, Carlos. We interviewed Ariana today. And when I interviewed Ariana, I felt that Argentinian resistance from the 70s and 80s, and the defiance. I will not be broken. As the Irish say, you're not the boss of me. And Ariano spitting fire about imagine being fired over a water bottle that says Free Palestine, and her colleagues saying that they don't feel safe around her. And then they're sending the FBI to other people's homes. Carlos. All this police overtime, it's our taxpayer money. And here in
Mhm.
the Bronx and in Yonkers, what do we have, man? We're just dangling by a thread.
Right.
People just trying to get through the night, the extra few drinks, and man, it's rough out here. Fentanyl, overdoses galore. Thank you, Marxist Saw.
And the comrade here, it says it reminds him of the Parenti clip. Yeah, Parenti has written and spoken about how not just the U.S. empire, but all empires in the past, when they're at the point where they become moribund, the empire ends up sucking dry the republic. It feeds off of the republic. And the people at home in the republic, their lives get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse as more and more gets invested in expanding and sustaining the empire. Um, well, that's the last segment on what's going on in Palestine.